The Grizzlies, they let go of someone today, David Fizdale. They lost 8 straight, and it seems that maybe issues with Marc Gasol may have finally come to a boiling point between Fizdale and the All-Star. Could it be time for the Grizzlies to rebuild, maybe move on from Conley and Gasol?
It's past time.
Past time.
They should have rebuilt a while back. That's one of the reasons they are in this situation, that they chose to delay the rebuild, and now they're in a situation where they don't have any young players to really go forward with. They have the 8th oldest team in the NBA, and when you look at a guy like Marc Gasol, who's 33 years old, they don't have you don't have one young star that you could point to say, hey, he's going to be a part of our future. We can build around this guy. They tried to hold on to that grit and grind era for too long. They tried to ride that until the wheels fell off, and now that Zach Randolph is no longer there, Vince Carter isn't there, and Tony Allen is there, all you have is Gasol and Conley. And now the wheels have fallen off, especially with Conley getting hurt. He's got the Achilles injury, trying to rest that. They've lost all 6 games that he hasn't played. So now they are in quite a predicament. Look at the contracts that they have on the books.
Stop offering these guys max contracts.
The Chandler Parsons deal is one of the worst deals that I can remember in recent history. Right up there with Luol Deng's deal with the Lakers. Right up there with the Joakim Noah deal that Phil Jackson gave him there in New York. Marc Gasol, look at that, 3 years, $72 million left. Mike Conley, $126 left over 4 years. So then that handcuffs you in terms of free agency. You can't go out and make a big splash in free agency because you don't have a whole lot of money. So David Fizdale was the fall guy. LeBron James said he wants answers, but the GM, Dwayne Wade as well, because Fizdale was an assistant in Miami, so Wade and LeBron have a pretty good relationship with Coach Fizdale. But the GM has to share a lot of blame in this as well, because he gave the contracts to Chandler Parsons and others. He assembled this team, and this roster is just not a good roster. When I mentioned they lost Conley, when I mentioned they lost Randolph and they lost Allen, they tried to piece the roster together with the Mario Chalmers and a Tyreek Evans, and that simply has not worked out. You cannot rely on these guys. So Memphis in a bad position. Some people will say the sunken place. And should they rebuild? Yes, they should have rebuilt a few years ago, and maybe they would have had a brighter future than they do right now.
They made it to playoffs last season, too. They started the season with a 5-game win streak. So very interesting move by the Grizzlies letting go of David Fizdale. But like you said, I think we need to see some movement on the actual team with the players as well.